getting back to business, but is it business as usual or business as unusual?
And I'm Gracie Williams, and I'm with Current Transitions. I'm a co-director with Mary Hager. We are a nonprofit organization that provides coaching and for life skills and training for students who have intellectual and developmental disabilities and who are adults. And all of our folks are over 18. So this is a program that comes after high school. So a lot of them may be in jobs. I know my son attends the program and he also works in a job. But for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings from 9 to 12, he comes here. And so we have training for all kinds of topics, including literacy and technology, daily living skills. We work on communication skills. We do money management and basic math skills because some of our folks just need that continued education past high school. We talk about health and safety. We even had a safety fair where each one had a topic of interest to them. Driver safety, technology safety, being on the computer and how to handle yourself. Talk about nutrition and cooking and gardening. We even have music and art that we were trying to do. So even though it's just basically a really 9-hour kind of time that we're together, we are just packed for our 3 hours a day. But we still allow for some social, communication kinds of things during breaks, and lots of friendships have formed, and they do lots of things outside of Current Transitions. We even cover current events. We have a special newspaper called News to You. And so they're looking at current events at the level that they can understand and their reading level. Really trying to push the technology and the literacy, though, because that's a piece that is totally left off after high school, unfortunately. So we have computers. Everybody has their own Chromebook, and we have smart boards, and we do lots of videos and to support some of the topics that we're teaching.
Hi, I'm Mary Hager. I'm the co-director for Current Transitions, and I'm also a retired occupational therapist. And so a lot of what I do has fallen right in line with that. During the pandemic, it took us by surprise like everybody, and we didn't want the students to be left without anything. And so the teachers got together and have put homework packets together. And we've done that about every other week. And included in that goes along with what we teach. One of the things, of course, is News for You, which Gracie has mentioned, current events. And that particular teacher, Mark, has put together questions just like as if we were here, questions that the students have to answer. Another thing is nature, and I'm involved in that music, and we've even included nature ideas. They had to choose their favorite animal and have been giving assignments on what does animal like to do. And some of our students have really gotten into that, even going out and buying birdhouses, for instance, for their wildlife. Another thing that we do is music, and it's hard to do music, you can imagine, with a homework packet, but Gracie has put together Zoom calls for us. So they get the packet one Friday, then the next Friday they have a Zoom call. And we've even been rehearsing. Another thing that we do, of course, is to have science. And Stan will be talking a little bit more about science. So the idea of the homework packets is that everybody still stays involved. They still have assignments to do. And we've had really good reports from the parents that not only are the students doing them, they're looking forward to them. Well, in terms of reopening, we actually have been discussing that back and forth a lot. And the most important thing to us, of course, is that the center be safe and our students be safe. And so we're not sure yet when we're going to open. We hope it's going to be the middle of June.
My name is Stan Hager. I'm the science and nutrition and health and safety and the gardening teacher here. And so the students essentially come in and we often give a basic science presentation with lots of interesting assignments for them to do. We did the safety fair that I think Gracie mentioned, and we did a science fair 2 years ago. So we try to keep them involved, and they have a lot of fun putting their presentations together. In particular, one of the interesting things they do every year is to raise a garden, and they were able to plant the garden before they left this year and started seeds from scratch for marigolds and vincas. And they always have a sunflower growing contest, which they enjoy. And each student is assigned a sunflower, and we measure it during the year. And the winner gets, of course, special prizes, but we always have a prize for everybody for growing a nice sunflower. This year, we had particular requests for red cabbage and Brussels sprouts. So I've never grown those before this year, but they've grown very well.
Well, because we are a nonprofit, we are actually all volunteer and all free. I know Mary has mentioned that she's a retired occupational therapist. I'm still working speech and language pathologist, and Stan has been a chemist scientist background. And the staff that works with us, they all have an expertise. We have special educators, we have people who've had some sort of background in working with people with disabilities. So we all kind of come with a skill base, but we're all volunteers. We have no paid staff. So as a result, we really have to exist on fundraising. And one of our major fundraisers, we have several, but one that's coming up will be in July, and that's July 17th and 18th. And it will be a huge garage sale. We live, right here in Little River, and hoping the Little River community will come and support us. They've done very well in, coming and attending. And I think the week before we'll be collecting items here and pricing them. And that's also an exercise for our students to use some of their math skills, some of their writing skills for labeling. And so they're a big part of the setup. And so we hope that we'll have good turnout and be nice weather.
Each year we have a miniature golf tournament, generally over at Tribal Golf. And there the students participate as well. So they sign up and we have the golf tournament, and then we invite the community to also come and participate in the golf tournament. It's all for fun, so everybody just keeps their own scores. We give prizes for holes in one, and also the top scores in each different age group, and for the students here and then for kids. So it's a lot of fun. One of the projects we got underway right now is the students are still doing from home, even though they can't come into the site, is collecting aluminum pop-top cans, which we're taking down to the recycling center and collecting funds. And the funds that they collect will go towards a trip to Vereen Gardens for a nature walk and safari. Hopefully we'll be able to do that later in the year.
Our other big fundraiser will be the golf tournament. And we've had to switch dates around, but right now we're hoping to have it October 31st, and talking about the Little River community supporting us and supporting them. And the golf tournament will be at Eastport, which isn't very far from here. So we're hoping that golfers will come out and support us. And of course, things like donations to be able to have prizes for the golf tournament will be very important. And that's really going to be our biggest probably fundraiser of the year. And we hope that everything will turn out fine. And in general, again, because we're all volunteers, but not one of us gets paid for anything. And so even just private donations have been really important to keep us going. And we're hoping that as people get to know more about us, that perhaps they will go ahead and give private donations to us too. Anybody wishing to make a donation, that would be wonderful. And we have a P.O. box, so you can feel completely safe that your donation will be going to us and it will be well spent.